Uh, that's what I'm going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, my grandmother's watching, so thanks for tuning in.
Hey.
So, a couple things that I did want to talk about. Do you have a time limit today? 5?
I got a little bit of time. I got to teach a class tonight.
Hey, Heather. Hey. So, there's been a lot of celebrities over the years that have had these mental breakdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And some have bounced back and some haven't. So, can you think of any right off the top of your head of a celebrity breakdown that stands out in your mind?
Did Miley Cyrus have a breakdown? Or is that just who she became?
I think that's who she became. She seems to be okay now, but she did have she went on like a wild streak or a crazy.
Maybe that's what it was.
Streak.
Less of a breakdown. What about Robert Downey Jr.?
Yes. He was one for the longest time. No one thought he was going to get his act together. The drugs and all this. And he was in his mid-30s when
Didn't he go to jail or go to prison or something?
For almost a year.
Yeah.
Heather sings Britney Spears. She had a major breakdown. And you know what I think caused that major breakdown? Back on the radio show, the Midnight Mutant Show, she got married to somebody for 55 hours. Do you remember that?
Uh-huh.
And it was one of the mutants. I'm not going to say which mutant it was, but they went to Vegas, and she was acting crazy ever since that happened.
You know, now that I think about it, I don't really remember that.
You don't?
No, that might be a moment in my past that just kind of got blacked out.
Okay. Oh, well.
Oh.
Jim Carrey, he's somebody that's had some mental problems especially lately.
He's like one of those oh shoot. What do you call it when an actor gets into the character? Method actor.
Yeah.
Which I think that's a part of his mental breakdownness.
Now, have you seen any of his recent interviews where he's talking about how nothing means anything? There's he's on the red carpet with someone and they're interviewing him and he's just walking around talking about that he was going to get dressed up and go to the most meaningless thing that he could think of, and it was that party that they happened to be at.
Didn't he? I saw there's a documentary about him on the set of Man on the Moon.
Yeah.
And that documentary, it's like him just talking, and I'm like, you are the most depressing human being. Like, you need to get help, buddy, because it's not a good space that you're in right now. Like when he was talking about it, and he's kind of talking about there's no hope in the afterlife and everything. I'm like, bro, go talk to somebody.
Had you watched any of his new? I don't know if it's still on, but he had a show called Kidding, I think, and it was pretty depressing. I watched a couple of episodes.
I heard about it, but I have not.
It was kind of by the director who did that, The Science of Sleep. Remember that movie?
Oh yeah.
And then he did another movie back in.
Gael Garcia Bernal was in that.
Yeah. Have you seen the Motorcycle Diaries, by the way?
I've seen the first 10, 20 minutes of it, but I haven't watched the whole thing, which I need to because I love Gael.
Isn't he in that?
Mm-hmm. He plays a young Che Guevara.
No, something else. Tim Burton has. I don't think he's ever had a breakdown, but he also he has bipolarism.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I pulled up some of this other stuff on the other computer, but there's
David O. Russell.
David O. Russell, yeah.
When he was with Lily Tomlin.
Oh yeah, he's very.
You have to watch that, Mike Birbiglia.
I'll write that down.
Yeah, please watch it because it will brighten up your spirits.
Okay.
It will make you forget Chad for a minute.
Yes. And I'm living in his aftermath. There was a script I wrote a couple of years ago, The Aftermath.
Mm.
And
I remember that.
But yeah, but now this is the different aftermath. Another person was
it's the sequel, the uninvited sequel.
Charlie Sheen, obviously he's had some breakdowns before, and Winona Ryder, she had a breakdown. Owen Wilson had a breakdown after Kate Hudson broke up with him.
Really?
Yeah.
I know that.
He tried to commit suicide, so he had a bad. Because if you've ever noticed, ever since probably late 2000s, Owen Wilson hasn't been really huge. If you think of it, not a whole lot.
No, not really.
So, but it's weird when some of these people go into like a lot of these people go into like a rehab, or they'll go into some kind of therapy and stuff like that. So since Chad has bestowed this wrath upon my life, I've had to go to therapy and such, imposes Chad. So this
Wait,
is
you posed
very,
as Chad?
yeah, because he won't go.
Mm,
And if one of us doesn't go, then somebody's getting locked up and they don't know where he is. So I've got to go. I'm forced to go.
well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
no. So doing that, and best luck to Chad. I hope that I never see him again.
Yeah, I'm not excited about Chad either.